Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yeah.
You're knowing what you are wanting? Co-creating at its best, isn't it? You come with your physical bodies attached to your inner beings, broader perspective flowing through all of you, the specifics of your physical life experience, pointing you to focused desire, which summons the source that is really you. It is really a perfect environment, a perfect established experience. You knew about every bit of it before you came forth. You said, this is a leading edge experience. I want to go forth and focus. Most important word we ever speak or hear spoken, focus. Because it is by attention to something that vibration is established. And vibration is everything in this vibrational universe. Whatever you are giving your attention to causes you to offer a vibration. And law of attraction matches that vibration with things like it. So when you focus, which means when you ponder something, or when you look at something, or when you remember something, or when you fantasize something, when you imagine it, when you observe it, focus. Whatever you give your attention to. The nice thing about where you stand is that when you focus, past, present, or future, your emotions give you a reading on the vibration that you have brought about through your focus. So you never need to be in question about what your focus is causing vibrationally, because your emotions let you know every time. When you out here on the leading edge, extension of source energy, focus upon something that reverberates as your source reverberates, you feel the harmony of that vibration in the form of positive emotion. When you focus out here on the leading edge upon something that is not in harmony with your source, with the inner you, with that which many call God, then you feel the disharmony of that in your emotion that you would call negative emotion. So positive emotion, like love or appreciation or joy or enthusiasm, those emotions let you know that whatever you are choosing to focus upon right now that is causing a reverberation within you has you in vibrational sync with your source. We call that ultimate allowing of your connection with source. But when you focus upon something that causes negative emotion, we call that disallowing or resistance, meaning you have established a vibration that doesn't match your source vibration, and so you are now feeling the negative emotion, which is your indicator that you're off point. It's sort of like static on the radio, sort of makes you want to tune back in. So negative emotion is like static, positive emotion is like being locked right onto your signal. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would get our fingers on that emotional dial, and we would be thinking, nothing is more important than that I feel good, because when I feel good, I'm on point, I'm in sync. When I feel good, I am lined up, I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned on. I am a pure extension of that which is my source. I am in this moment allowing source energy to flow through me in a powerful way. You see, in this vibrational universe, there is only inclusion. So when you look at things not wanted and you shout no at them, you're actually including the unwanted thing in your vibration. It's much better to look at the unwanted thing, conclude that you do not want it, shout no at it for a moment if you must, but as quick as you can, identify what it is you do not want. Begin to give your attention to what it is that you do want and do your best to achieve vibrational harmony with that. Because well-being wants you. Well-being wants you. Well-being is coming to you. Source has heard you. Source adores you. The entire universe is established to provide for you. You get to discern what you want and offer a vibration of desire, and whether you speak it with your words or not, Source hears and replies, answers instantly. Things start moving. Forces all throughout the universe begin to move to give you what you want every single time. There is not an exception to that. But if you are standing in the absence of something that you want, and you are more aware of the absence or void of the good that you are looking for, then sometimes without even meaning to, you begin to establish vibrations, patterns, habits of thoughts. Sometimes you call them beliefs. It's a vibrational stance. You begin to establish a stance that is so much about the void that you are living in, the absence of your lover, or the absence of the new house you want, or the absence of enough money, or the absence of physical well-being, the absence of something that you want. You begin to vibrate like the absence. And when you're vibrating like the absence of something, you cannot allow in the presence of it. So you say, well, how do I offer a vibration about something that I want when I'm living the opposite? When I want wellness with every fiber of my being, but my body is racked with illness, how in the world do I vibrate wellness? And we say, you just got to find a way to do it. And you say, but it's really hard. And we say, that's not helping. And you say, but it's really, really hard. If you would just make me well, then I will focus on wellness. And we say, focus on wellness and then you will be well. And you say, but it's hard. And we say, that's not helping. You say, but it's really, really hard. I cannot find a thought about what I want. We say, that's not helping. You say, but what am I going to do? And we say, you have to try. You have to try to find a thought that feels better. And if you can't find a thought that feels better on the subject of wellness when you're sick, then find a subject that feels good on some other subject that isn't about sickness. And you say, but my sickness is looming so big. I cannot get my attention off of it. And we say, that's not helping. And you say, but it's really, really hard. And we say, that's not helping. You say, Abraham, why won't you let me complain to you? A good friend would let me complain to you. And we say, because that's not helping. If we listen to your continual conversation about where you are that you don't want to be, we just encourage your maintenance of a vibration that disallows what you do want. But a good friend would be there for me. Not true at all. Your inner being is the best friend you've got, and it's not there, and that's why you feel negative emotion. Negative emotion means you vibrated sort of out of range of who you really are. Now we said, sort of, must qualify because you cannot get out of range of your inner being. You are eternally connected to Source. And even if you pinched it off so significantly that no life breathes through you at all, and that doesn't mean that all death is about pinching it off. Talk about that later if you want. But if you disallow the well-being, when you croak, you allow it fully. And the relief is beyond physical description. We would like you to find that relief before you croak. We would like you to feel that relief here and now. We would like you to relax into the well-being that is natural. Instead of struggling against unwanted things, we want you to relax into the bliss of the things that you want. We want you to just stop doing that thing you do that keeps you from feeling good. But it's not likely that you will do that until you decide that nothing is more important than that you feel good. Nothing is more important than that I feel good. That's the only thing that matters. Am I tuned in now or not? Because when you're tuned in, you're well. When you're tuned in, you're happy. When you're tuned in, you have clarity. You have stamina. You have balance. When you're allowing your connection, we don't care if you're 120 years old or if you are 3 days old. When you are allowing your connection to who you are at your optimum experience. So you hold yourselves in this impossible place, looking forward to tomorrow that never comes because you've got these habits today of trying to fix things that are broken, trying to vibrate for others when you can't, trying to do things that are not any of your business, and trying to make up for something that happened before. And we want so much for you to decide that in your powerful now, you've got the choice of plugging into your source, or you've got the choice of crimping it off. And the way you feel is your indicator of which you're doing, and everything about your experience from this step forward will be reflected by what you choose now. In other words, tomorrow is going to feel a lot like today unless you deliberately do something different today than you did yesterday. You can't just keep observing conditions and being buffeted about by whatever those conditions are and having vibrational responses to the conditions and have a good life experience. You've got to decide that rather than being a vibrational responder to conditions, that you're going to be a deliberate offerer of vibration, which means you're going to direct your thought. You're going to choose thought, but at the same time you're choosing thought, you're going to be paying attention to how you feel. So you're going to think and feel and think and feel and think and feel. So when you think a thought that doesn't feel good, stop and say, guidance is showing me that this thought does not feel good, which means this thought has resistance in it. Let me see, can I find a less resistant thought? Is there anything that I could think that might feel a little better? In other words, you're looking for the path of least resistance. The hardest thing to do is to offer a vibrational current that goes one way and then try to use your action to go the other. And that's what people mean when they say, you've got to struggle. There's no gain if you're not willing to have some pain. There is no sustained gain or well-being in struggle or pain. It cannot be. They are opposite vibrations. So when you decide that you're going to take a path of ease, of well-being, then you're following the path of least resistance. Jerry and Esther drove across a desert, almost 1,000 miles. They had a lovely time. Split it up in 2 days. They have a big monster bus, 42 feet long. They tow a car behind it. And their intention was to get here refreshed, on time, have a nice time while they were coming. And so they chose the path of least resistance, the roadway. They saw horses and covered wagons on their way to the rodeo in San Antonio. But Jerry and Esther opted to do it differently. They chose a path of less resistance because their intentions were speed, efficiency, comfort, on-timeness. So it was easy for them to know what was the best choice. If they had been looking for adventure, they might have been out on a dune buggy. The path of least resistance under those conditions would not have been a big old 42-foot monster bus traipsing through the sand. If their intention had been relaxation and meditation, they might have got lost in the desert, pitched a tent, sat out under the stars, and communed with the spirits and with all that is good. That may very well have been the path of least resistance. The desire that you hold, the intentions that are forefront, have a lot to do with what the path of least resistance is for you. You have to decide what you want before you will know what the path of least resistance is. When you're bored, the path of least resistance isn't laying around and doing nothing. When you're bored, the path of least resistance is finding something to do. But when you're overwhelmed, the path of least resistance isn't adding another thing to your to-do list. The path of least resistance is looking for some relief. No one can write a book or a map that will show you what the path of least resistance is. And it doesn't need to be done because you are born with something so much better than someone else's decision or map about the way to go. You have guidance within you that is connected to all that is, which is a broader view, the broadest of views. So in every moment, the desires that you have already identified and the desires that are most activated in this moment are compared to the decisions that you are making and the beliefs that you hold, and you are being given a constant reading of where you're at. So if you want to digest all of this down into something that is really useful and meaningful, you'll forget everything that we've said so far, and you'll just say, nothing is more important than that I feel good, and when I feel good, I'm in the optimum place because there is as little resistance as possible within me. And if I will let feeling good be my quest, I will always be upon my path, not only my path of least resistance, but my path of most fulfillment, my path of being who I really am, my path of the most satisfying, eternal, never-ending, constantly unfolding life experience. Oh, friends, it is such a wonderful thing to be in a physical body, focused in this time-space reality where you were inspired to never-ending desires. We want you to stop saying it's true and start saying, but does it feel good? There are a whole lot of things that are true that you don't want to vibrate with. A whole lot of things that are true that you do not want to include in your vibration or in your experience. We are eager to visit with you about anything that is important to you. We'll not be too eager to visit with you about anything that causes resistance within you. But we will begin where you are, and together we will find the path of least resistance. It is our expectation that by the time you leave here today, you will clearly understand the magic of that quest. This is an environment of fine-tuning. No radical changes are being sought here. No redemption is necessary. You are magnificent and perfect as you are. We just want life to be good for you before you croak. Begin wherever you're wanting. What do you want to talk about? Begin right here, then there, yes.